in the world, was responsible for over $50 million of placements of executives, and was one of the top recruiters recognized nationally while serving in the United States Army. You'd probably say he's qualified. This is the Executive Career Upgrades Podcast. Career competition is fierce. If you're a director, a VP, or an executive, this podcast is for you. This is the Executive Career Upgrades Podcast. And this is your host, Tim Madden.
All right. How's everyone doing today? Hope you are doing well. Let me put the agenda on the screen. All right. Hey. Welcome to the Executive Career Upgrades Podcast with your host, Tim Madden. And hey, if you don't know me, I help those targeting six figures and multiple six figures, or, individuals just grow and build their network so that they can find a job quickly they love, or when they're in a job search, they can figure out, right, how to build a network, an army of advocates so they never are in a position without purposeful employment. Hey, we go live each week inside the Executive Career Network, which is the fastest growing career network on Facebook. Hey, if you're watching the Executive Career Network, let me know, say hi below. And we're streaming to LinkedIn now, we're streaming to YouTube, and we upload to basically everywhere on the internet. So hey, do me a favor. If you get any value of today's episode, leave me a review or on iTunes. It helps get the message out. Share this with a friend or a family member so that they can help improve on the topic that we have today. Hey, before we get started, just a couple notes. We have a live event coming up, which I'm going to make a post right now about it. We have a live event coming up on March 8th, next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you're not tuning in live, do me a favor. Email me over at tim@execupgrades.com, and I will send you this link. What we're actually doing is we're holding an event on how to automate, how to automate your job search. Now, I do know that this is a foreign concept for most people. They're like, automate your executive search, automate your job search. What are you kind of talking about? Hey, there are a lot of cool automation tools in 2022 that can literally shave so much time off your job search. And a lot of them you can get for like $1 a day. So I found these super helpful, want to share them with you. So if you're targeting six figures, multiple six figures, or if you're targeting even, less than that, this system is extremely powerful. These systems I'm going to be sharing with you. So if you're watching on, LinkedIn, I put the comment down below. Facebook, I put the comment down below. I got to pop over to YouTube now. Give me a sec, everyone. Got to pop over to YouTube and drop the link on the live on YouTube if you're tuning in on YouTube. And I hope to see you there. As always, if you need help in your career, you can go over to execupgrades.com/podcast so we can figure out, hey, where are you at? Where are you trying to go? And why haven't you achieved it up until right now, this moment? Okay. But today we're talking about something just a little different. Probably one of the most important things you need to be a successful leader. Without this one thing, you are going to be not as effective as you could be. So I wanted to make sure that I shared this information with you today. And I've never shared it before. And I'm still trying to find the YouTube live. Okay, YouTube, I'm sorry it took so long. All right, here we go. Here's the comment. Sorry, guys. Here is the comment right there. The register to join the live event. All right, cool. So episode 31, 5 effective time management strategies for busy leaders. So this could be you're in a job search, don't have any time because I have a busy schedule, right? Or maybe, you're trying to get better at your fitness. You're trying to spend more time with your family because you work so much. You're trying to build a network, but you don't have any time, right? We get this all the time from the clients that we serve, right? Like it's so difficult to try to find time to do certain things. So if that's you, glad you're tuning in today. So let's get started. Something that is extremely, extremely important, okay? You have 8 hours to sleep, 8 hours to work, And the other 8 hours is going to determine how you enhance or improve the quality of your life. So do me a favor. This could literally be the most important thing you hear this month. Okay. Hey, I have 8 hours to sleep, 8 hours to work. Hey, maybe work 10 or 12. I got it. And then I have the additional time, roughly 8 hours, to improve the quality of my life. Most people think of it as I have 8 hours to work, 8 hours to sleep, and oh my God, I have free time to relax. Here's what I know about being stagnant in your career, in your personal relationships. If you're not doing that, you never feel truly fulfilled. Okay. I make it a point every single day to manage these different areas, and that's what we're talking about. So number one, here's what I want you to do. I want you to audit your time starting today and tomorrow. Audit your time. When did you wake up? What'd you do in the morning? What'd you do at work? What'd you do for lunch? What'd you do when you get home? When did you spend time with your family? I want you to audit your day, because how can you expect to divide up and manage your time in the most effective way possible if you don't even know where you're spending your time right now? You could be spending 3 hours a day on Netflix, 2 hours at work, chatting by the water cooler, and you probably wouldn't realize it, right? Most of the people that we work with, they say, I don't have any time, and we block out their time, and we find out later that 5 hours are just being wasted every single day on stuff that's not serving them. Trust me, I like to golf every once in a while, right? It's been a while. I like to go hang out with friends. I like to do these things, but do you know what I also like to do? Make sure every single day I'm investing in my future. How can I do that? Through health, through fitness, through reading a book, through building personal relationships with people, through writing articles from many of the places I write articles to bringing value to other people. Okay. What do you do in your free time right now? Is it helping you improve your current situation? So whenever you're auditing your day, right, of what it looks like, you should be able to identify 2 categories for your daily activities. Ready? Number 1, non-negotiables. Time that you have to spend on essentials like sleeping, eating, showering. Like, hey, non-negotiables, we definitely have to do those things. Other categories, free time or wasted time. Okay? So time you spend doing one activity that you'd prefer to dedicate to something else. Okay, so step 1, I want you to audit your day. What's your whole day look like, broken into maybe 30-minute increments, and then say, hey, what are the things I have to do? And where are the ways that I'm wasting a bunch of time not serving me? After you do that, you could move into number 2, which, by the way, if you want to see a copy of Tim Madden's time, I got this nice little graph that I try to stick to every single day. So if you want a copy of what my daily calendar looks like nearly every single day, email me over at tim@execupgrades.com and say, hey, Tim, shoot me your pretty little presentation graph on how to have what I feel a successful day every single day. But number 2, let's talk about goals for a sec and why this is important. Okay. So how many people put something on the calendar and then never do it? Right? Man, meant to work out today, meant to write that 1 page of a book, meant to spend more time with my spouse, my children, my church, my community, these things that are never getting done. Here's what I really challenge you on. When you put something on your calendar, you ask yourself, why is this important? And I don't just mean why is this important? Why is this important to me? Because who likes working out? Maybe a couple people on this podcast. Let me know in the comments if you like working out, right? Do you like working out, or do you like feeling good and feeling better? If you're in a job search, do you like focusing on your job search, searching people on LinkedIn, all of these things that's in a job search? Or do you like the potential in the near future to have a new role? So one of the mistakes people make when they're goal setting and they're time planning is they focus on the actions and not the impact it's actually going to have in their career and in their life. Okay, if we're just focusing on the action, can we all agree? Not too fun working out. I have an ongoing joke that says, you know what the best part of, going to the gym is? When you leave, right? You know what the best part of a job search is? When you get the job, okay? So remember, when you're setting up these these goals that you want to focus on during the day and make them a priority, you really have to say, why is this goal important to me? If I stay here now and don't do these things that I know that will eventually get me to there, what impact is that going to have? What's the consequence it's going to have on myself, my personal development, my leadership of, development if I don't do these things? There has to be this why behind your actions. Otherwise, you're never going to be motivated, compelled, inspired to actually do the things. Because I'll tell you, success is pretty boring and monotonous, but it's the only true way that you actually achieve your goals. Okay? So set the proper goals of what you want to accomplish throughout the day. Here's a mistake people make too. They have this long list of stuff. Each day, try to focus on, hey, what are the 2 to 3 biggest things that I want to accomplish today so that I don't feel overwhelmed with some to-do list, right? Kristina, my wife, she wasn't able to make it today. She has these super long to-do lists. And then she literally looks at it and say, hey, okay, here's my whole list I have to have done. They're all important, but what is like my biggest priorities? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this stuff is just going to have to wait. Okay. Number 3, I kind of already touched on this. Tackle tasks in the right order. So even the most time effective, conscious managers, business professionals, leaders of families, church communities, etc., tend to fall into the same trap, spending too much time on this low-hanging fruit. It might feel like extremely productive to answer all your emails, organize your computer files, clean your desk, but maybe they're not the most important things you need to do today. This is why so many people believe in identifying what's been talked about as the MIT or like the most important task for the day and tackling it first thing in the morning before even moving on to anything else, which by the way, I'm reading a phenomenal book right now called Atomic Habits. Because hey, if we all get better at habits, good, healthy habits, we can increase the quality of our life, right? But most of the time, this book, a lot of the golden nuggets I got out from it is when you wake up in the morning, before you do anything, put your shoes on and go get a run in or a bike ride or a walk. Or maybe you can't do it in the morning because of whatever reason. Hey, right when you get home, before you even think about it, before you think about how you feel, you're smoked, you're burnt, etc., put on shoes, change your clothes, go run. Or maybe right when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to focus on self-development because I know reading is important. I know reading soothes my mind. I'm trying to be a better leader, see things in a different perspective or anything. But, oh, man, I didn't get a chance to read. Assign these good habits with like an action, right? While I'm at breakfast, I'm going to do this too. When I get up, I'm immediately going to do this. Hopefully that helps you a little bit. And I know we got a comment from Facebook. Hey, I like working out, feeling better and better with more energy, but I'm feeding my baby at the moment. Hey, there you go. Hey, but when can you get it in, right? When can you get it in? Whenever people start working together in a career search, I tell them like, hey, when you add something new to your plate, here's what has to happen. You have to take something away. You have to create times for the things that are important. So if you're in a job search and you like drinking wine and watching a bunch of Netflix every night, you might have to tone that down a little bit. You may have to tone hanging out with friends. You may have to tone these down. You might have to figure out, hey, maybe when the baby goes, whoever's watching on Facebook, let me see who said that, Margo. Maybe when the baby lays down, even though you feel tired, you need to say, when my baby takes a nap, hey, I'm going to, have a little monitor and jog around my house. Or maybe I'm going to do a video exercise on YouTube or something along those lines. Or maybe if you're in a job search, that's the time I'm going to focus on my job search. Then once you've completed like these most important tasks or activities of the day, you can gradually then work your way to, hey, what would be the good ones? What would be the good to do ones next? And most importantly, number 4, auditing your time, which is what we talked about earlier, was all about logging what you do now and setting yourself up on a schedule. But you can't blindly assume that you're going to follow whatever schedule you set. So track yourself as you go throughout the day. There is a range of really cool applications you can use to do this that help you stay organized. I use my Google Calendar. There's Desk Time. There's Asana and Monday, which are even project management tools. But hey, you have to manage things that you don't manage. If you don't manage your time effectively, you don't control it. When you don't control it, what happens? Anyone spent 3 hours on online shopping before? Oh, another good one. Anyone ever spent 2 hours on TikTok? Which, by the way, you can follow me on TikTok now, at Career Coach Tim Madden. I got some pretty good videos over there. How many people spend 2 hours on Facebook? 2 hours playing video games? 2 hours reading just stuff that isn't serving them, right? You have to manage your time. And unless you know how much time you have, the goals that are important to you that you want to accomplish, how you're specifically going to accomplish them, and then execute a plan, how can you ever hope to be successful? Time is your most valuable tool. You realize that time is more valuable than money? It really is. What are you doing with your time? It's the most valuable resource that is a ticking clock right now. No one knows how long we're going to be on this earth. What are you going to do with your day to ensure that you live the kind of life you want, the kind of job you want, the fitness level you want, the impacts you have? If you don't do these things, that's never going to happen. Then here's what's going to happen. You'd be like most people. They're going to be 80 years old, sitting on a bench. They're going to say, you know what? I wish I'd have done this and this and this and this and this, but I never did. So I'm going to spend the last years of my life in woe and sorrow of all the things I didn't accomplish. I'm assuming if you're listening to this podcast, you don't want to live a life like that. So what are you going to do today to put a plan in action to manage and control your time effectively? Again, time is your most valuable tool. It's easy to convince yourself that there's more to life than time management. But as your responsibilities, task lists, and a number of people counting on you multiply, which is likely as you get older, you have more responsibility at work, you have more children, more friends, more families popping up, more nieces and nephews and grandchildren and grandson. You may realize that you need to have your time management dialed in, kind of down to a fine art, to be able to think about and enjoy these types of experiences. And again, this isn't just about time. It's about fulfilling your duty as a leader, as a parent, as a friend, perhaps even more importantly, to get your sanity back. So hopefully I've hit home on this podcast episode of why time is so important, how to manage it. So let's recap real quick. Number 1, audit your time. Number 2, set proper goals that you'd like to accomplish, but don't just focus on the goal. Focus on, why is this important to me? Why should I make this a priority? And then number 3, tackle them in the right order. What are the most important 2 to 3 things you need to do today? Get them done. And then number 4, track your time. And then over time, you will get more efficient with it. There's lots of different tools that you can use. I gave you a couple before. And remember, time is your most valuable asset in this world, period, end of story. So, hey, I really hope you guys attend my live event coming up, where I can show you whether you're trying to build a network, an army of advocates to help you throughout your career, leverage them later, if you're in a career search, or if you are in a career search, how to utilize all these different softwares that's out in 2022 to really help you save a lot of time. Because who wants more time to spend with their family? Who wants more time to have leisure activities? Who wants more time to do these things? You need additional resources to be successful. And I want to share them with you on that training, March 8th at 3 p.m. Eastern. Again, I put it in the comments. If you're listening in on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple iTunes, or the many other we stream to, hey, email me at tim@execupgrades.com, and I'll be sure to help you out. As always, if you need help in your career, go over to execupgrades.com/podcast so we can have a conversation unlike probably any conversation you've ever had about your career. And I'll see you next week.